Don't. Oh, I think Mike.
We are live. Look at that. Look at that. Good timing.
I'm getting better and better at it.
Yeah. Happy Sunday, everyone.
We missed you out there.
Who?
We missed everyone out there.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks. We missed them.
It's been what? 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a very productive December 20th, right?
We had a very productive last show. Thank you so much to Mac Annam and Aftermath and everyone else who donated.
Aftermath Treatment, check them out on Facebook. Follow Mac Annam, the poet, on Facebook. He helped us raise a lot of money. We'll get into that after we get rolling.
Yeah, I'm just posting and then I'll read the mission statement. I already have it ready for us.
And everyone, welcome back from your Christmas break and your New Year's break. Hope everyone had a blessed, happy, peaceful New Year's and Christmas. And hope this new year brings your family joy and love and happiness and is rewarding. Where'd Jessica go?
I don't know. It looks like she might be frozen.
She blanked out on us?
I thought it was just me.
Well, we'll wait a second. She's got the mission statement. We'll get that rock and rolling. We got these cool Aftermath bracelets.
Oh, nice. I need to get myself one of those.
From Matt.
Who do you have to know to get that?
Oh, you know the head honcho.
I'm going to have to go down there.
Oh, Jessica left, so we'll figure that out. So, all right. So what we're going to do now is, so if anybody who's watching our live would like to donate, we're taking donations of $7. So our Venmo account is at Recovery Solutions. And the tag for at Recovery Solutions will be Julie Bunch. You'll see Julie Bunch listed under it. So, you know, you got the right account if you want to donate. So if you could, $7, anything really, we can accept anything. $1 if times are tough, you know, $7 would be great. We just want to do 7 because with Sundays at 7. So last time, and that money goes to our Dollars for Angels. So Dollars for Angels means it's money in our fund for our angels that are out there, maybe still actively using, haven't had that desperate moment or that moment of desperation where they saw recovery. But once they do have that moment, we want to have money in our funds so we can help scholarship them for safe, reputable, sober living that we vet, that we check out ourselves. Also, we want to support veterans. We want to get to a point one day where we can offer veteran scholarships to premier treatment. That's our ultimate goal. It takes a lot of money to do so. So we're getting there. It's just a goal. So we're working towards it. We have some money in our account now. We've been fortunate enough to scholarship a few people prior to the holiday. That always feels good. We want to get ourselves to a place with the scholarships that we never have to say no, that we can always say yes. And that's our goal. That's our new motto for the new year. We never want to have to say no. And I think Jessica's back on. We'll just until she gets back on, and maybe
I'm on. I don't know what.
So maybe you could do the mission statement.
Did you guys stay on?
Yeah, we stayed on.
Oh my God! I thought the whole thing shut down on my life. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Now I gotta find the.
We improvise. We're good.
I know, Amy. You said what happens if we freeze, and then I'm the one that freezes.
I know. Then you disappeared, and it said I was the host, and I was like trying not to panic, but. No, Mike, great job. Legs hooked it up.
He does great. So Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions mission is to connect those with substance use disorder to recovery treatment services. Additionally, we offer scholarships to safe and effective sober living, educate the public through community outreach, and help veterans access premier quality treatment. Our organization embraces cultural diversity and is inclusive of every race, religion, sexual orientation, veteran status, socioeconomic background, disability, and age group.
Boom.
Boom.
Like you didn't miss a beat, Jess. Good job.
Oh my God, that made me have anxiety.
I can imagine. I bet you were panicking back then.
I was like, oh my God, what happened? So we already have some comments that since I, frozen time that I can read.
All right.
Make sure that my Zoom, I'm rehearing us right now. So Olga Anna Gomez said, hi, everyone, and she missed us so much. Hi, Olga.
Hi, Olga. Thanks for watching us. We're so grateful for you.
Every week. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Steve Sorrenti said hello. Hi,
Hey,
Steve
Steve.
Sorrenti. Sienna Crawford said, love you, Amy. And out, we lost one. Yeah, that was me. I was gone with the wind.
But you're back.
I'm back in action. Tara Shannon said, thank you all for your service. Mikey Legs, thank you for all you do. Love you, my brother. Happy New Year's, everyone.
Many kisses. Love you, Tara.
So did you mention about the Sunday Night Live, $7?
So we didn't, you weren't
did.
here, spin, so I set it at 7.
Yes.
So Sundays at 7. We want $7 donations if possible. We know times are tough coming out of the holidays. Those Capital One cards, those American Express are maxed out. But if you could do it, $7 to at Recovery Solutions on Venmo. Julie's gonna keep tab of where we're at. That money goes to our scholarship fund. That money goes for our angels. Angels are our people out there that are still actively using. When their moment of desperation comes, they become honest and willing, and they need treatment and sober living, safe, reputable, sober living. We want to be the ones that can provide them the help. We never want to say no. That's our new motto for 2021. And, you know, we're working towards that goal. Last time we were on the show, Matt Ganem was on, and he got people to raise $800, the viewers to raise $800. He matched that 800. He gave us a check last week. Julie and I went by Aftermath Addiction Treatment to pick up that check. So $1,600 in our scholarship fund for people in need. So that's really why we do this. This is the reason: education, funds, advocacy, all that good stuff. So please call us. We're still getting people placed throughout the holidays. We're still giving families advice and trying to guide them and direct them into the right direction and come up with treatment plans for people. Recovery coaching still. I know Jessica just picked up a recovery.
Yep.
Jessica's doing amazing work helping women. I'm helping men, and you know, we'll do this together. I know our friend Amy Busch helps a ton of people. I love Amy. Amy's one of my dearest friends. We've only been friends for a couple years, but just in that short time, we're very like-minded people. Woman about her recovery, person about her recovery. Very much an advocate for people out there. Kind of a trailblazer for what we do. We try to model what we do after her foundation. Her foundation's huge, much bigger and more successful than us so far. But no, but I mean, so far, I mean, they've been around a while.
And she does great, work with, children and all that stuff too.
Children, families in need, wiffle ball tournaments. What else? What other
basketball tournaments?
Yeah, they have a way of raising funds, and they do it well, and people have fun. People in recovery come together, and I'll let Amy tell her story. But
couple more comments first. So that was another thing I'm going to be interrupting. I try to signal Mike, but our signals don't really always cross. So like this. So Steve Sorrenti said, how do I zoom in? I don't know the ID number for the meeting. Do you, Mike, for him to zoom in?
I don't know off the top of my head, no.
Rory Sly said, hi guys, happy peaceful new year.
Happy peaceful new year, Rory.
Teresa Legiro said, happy Sunday, everyone. Hi, Teresa.
Hey, Mom.
Olga Anna Gomez said, you guys need to let me know when you're in Lowell. I want to make you some homemade pizzalis. I make pizzalis too.
Oh, look at that.
That's awesome. And I know my friend Mark is out there watching. He's texting me. He's not going to comment, but I just want to say, hi, Mark. I know you're watching. And Amy, and that's another thing. We want you guys to ask questions. If you have any comments for Amy, any questions for us, anyone that you would need, that is in need of some advice or treatment, just comment here and we'll read the comment.
Yep. And yeah, Amy's the executive director of DMMF, Dennis Messing Memorial Foundation. And she's going to tell us a little bit about your addiction and what got you to where you're at and what got you to your recovery, how addiction impacts your life directly or indirectly.
So you want me to tell a little bit about myself first?
Sure.
Yeah, a little bit about what got you
qualifying, right?
Qualify. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's good to be here. Thank you guys for having me. I've been like, I was like nervous to get on here. I'm like, oh God, it's a lie, but it's you guys. So I feel like Mike, it's going to be chill. I'm like, all right, this is good. So yeah, I'm Amy and I'm the president of DMMF. I've been sober for over 13 years now. So for me, I grew up in Boston, Hyde Park. You know, I'm an alcoholic of the hopeless variety, as I like to say. And you know, it's like addiction is, you know, it's cunning, baffling, powerful. I feel like for me, started really, really young. And I have 2 young kids now, and I look at them and I'm just like I watch them to see kind of like what they're, you know what I mean? If like it's like crazy because I get like weird about it. Like I'm like, oh God, are they gonna be like me? You know? And I started drinking and doing other things like age 12 and spiraled from there. You know what I mean? And it was always just to get out of me, always to feel a little bit different, always to like, you know, and the thing is, I always say that like I grew up in a great home. I had 2 loving parents, married forever, like good people. And like that has nothing to do with being an alcoholic or an addict, like absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? Because like if it did, then I wouldn't be here. So, you know, for me, it was just, it's a disease, you know, and I had come to like learn that. I got sober when I was like 25, 26-ish. And I remember it got to a point for me, like somehow I had graduated college, I was working at a group home and I was running a group home for these kids. And I was drinking like every day. I wasn't drinking at work, but I was drinking every day. And somewhere I crossed.
Oh,
I think she just muted. Oh,
yeah,
no, she's frozen.
Oh, she's frozen.
Damn, she was just about to heat
I
up.
know. What is going on? It must be the snowstorm that's ruining everyone's connection.
Is it really a snowstorm though? I feel like it's like just some flurries.
Can you hear me?
What's going on? We can
Now
hear
we can. Okay, all right.
you now.
You were at the group home. You were getting drunk at the group home.
No, I wasn't. I was running the group home, not drinking there, but I was trying to get sober. And like, you know, it was like one of those things where it never dawned on me that like I couldn't stop drinking. And I always tell people that when they're like, yeah, I can stop. I'm like, well, I mean, can you? Cause like I thought I could and I tried. And I remember like every day by the end of that night, I'd be drunk again. Like, why is this happening? Like, it didn't dawn on me that I was powerless. I just didn't know anything about alcoholism at all. Right. Like I had no clue. And, you know, after a little while that I called a cousin, she took me to my first meeting, right? I started coming around. And for me, it was really like, I'm in a 12-step program. And that was the whole principles behind that. Living by those principles is what got me and keeps me in sobriety today, you know, and like I said, it's been 13 years and I'm very active in that program. And for me personally, I have to stay very active in that program because once I kind of pull away from that, then I disconnect from my fellows, I disconnect from God, and I will pick up a drink again. That's like that's the facts for me. You know what I mean? And it's happened to so many of my friends that I'm just not willing to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm very active in like the program that got me sober. And like, you know, today, like I do a lot of things that are suggested in that fellowship, you know what I mean? And then I do a lot of things outside to seek other spiritual help, you know what I mean? And that's what it tells us to do, right? Like, so for me, it's just about like showing up every day, trying to be a better person today than I was yesterday. Do you know what I mean? And that kind of thing. And then also just like staying real connected. Cause for us, like, and especially with the pandemic, like everybody's talking about how, you know, addiction is like, we need that connection. And I feel like for me, like, obviously I want to see my friends and I want to show up at groups and I want to be in meetings and I want to hug people, but like the Zoom saved me. Like, honestly, the Zoom's been awesome for me. Like, I don't mind it. Like, cause I'm running women's meetings.
She muted again.
Did she mute or is it frozen? She's muted.
She's frozen.
She's frozen.
Oh my God.
It's all right. What are you gonna do?
If you guys keep doing the hearts on the chat, we love it. The emoji hearts. And again, this is a great time to mention.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Sunday Night Live. We're asking for $7 if you can do $7. Again, last week we did a great number of,
oh, that's 7. Yeah, you count the thumb.
$7. That's $7.
So an update. We got $20 donated so far. Thank you
guys
for donated. We really appreciate it. You really got
guys. 7 at 7. Let's go. $7.
Sunday night. What is it? Sunday Night Live at 7. Sunday
at 7.
Sundays at 7.
Because it will help someone to be scholarship into sober living. It can help a veteran get access to premier quality treatment. So there's a lot of great things that $7 can go a long way to save someone's life.
Love it. I love
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, so you talked about being a person in recovery during the pandemic. You're also a mom during the pandemic. Let's talk about some of the challenges that
Oh.
come with that, because with the virtual learning and then balancing your own personal recovery, your own personal, spiritual growth, I'm sure sometimes you become unspiritual when you have to deal with all that. I know I do.
Oh yeah.
How do you maintain balance, like at home during a pandemic, in recovery, a member of a fellowship, a mom, all these things, a president of a huge nonprofit?
So it's been interesting. I feel like, but honestly, like, I think for me, the main thing for me is to stay, like I was saying, stay connected with people. So I have like certain meetings that like I have to open, and there's certain meetings that I have to chair. And so there's like certain things that I've set myself up that I have to be accountable for, so that I don't go like, it's just Zoom, I'm going to lay on the couch. And I hear a lot of people say to me, Zoom is not my thing. And I'm like, and if they've been sober a while, I'm like, that's pretty selfish. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's not.
Ooh, I like that.
So don't, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're not going to help anyone today because it's not your thing. Get off your, you know what? It makes me so mad.
Yeah, you're not
And,
gonna help someone because it's uncomfortable for you.
right. And like
Like, that's the
nobody
whole
wants
point.
to be on Zoom. You know what I mean? But I've been able to sponsor a bunch of newcomers, right? I've been able to Zoom and FaceTime the big book. I've been able to do things that I probably just wouldn't have done before, honestly. I would have been like, if you don't want to meet me, like whatever. But like, I've been able to use this platform in so many different ways to help myself and other people. And it's been pretty cool. So my kids, thank God, are in private school. So they go to school every day.
Nice.
Yeah. God is good. This week they're virtual learning because of the holidays, but yeah, they usually go to school. So it's nice, but yeah, so just staying connected like that, and finding different groups that I can log on to and make sure, because my mom is high risk and was staying here. So I didn't go to any in-person meetings. Julie, am I frozen?
No, you're good. You're good. I think
Okay.
just as an interruption moment.
No, it wasn't an interruption moment. It was, I thought you were frozen.
Oh, Jess, I thought she was like,
No,
I thought you were, never mind. Go on.
So yeah, so just staying connected, and like obviously trying to be on my prayer life, and staying connected to God, and that, and in that, because it gets hectic up in here. I have 2 little girls.
Yep.
And my husband's a firefighter, and he works, like right now he's on half of he's been gone for almost, like tomorrow will be 48 hours that he's been at work. Yeah, so there's times where like he's gone 24 hours, 48 hours, and it's just like me, and I'm like, all right, like let's do this. And it's crazy, but it's good, you know what I mean? And as long as I'm good, like spiritually, like I feel like anything, I'm good everywhere, you know what I mean? It's the days that I'm not like 100% is the days that get a little bit crazy.
And what's so hard too is no one's ever had to go through this before, right? We're doing this for the first time together as people in recovery, as parents, as people with jobs. So we don't know how to navigate it. It's not like the fellowship where people have done it and people show us what to do. We're kind of learning this out of context, and just like you said, the connection, because my favorite saying is
the opposite of addiction is connection.
And that's important. It's such an important piece of it. And God, show the muscles.
They're getting back. New year, new me.
Come on.
That's it.
So
it's hard.
I love how you talked like about shifting your perspective on it, because at first everyone's like, yeah, Zoom, it's uncomfortable, it's weird, it's awkward, there's awkward moments of silence in meetings because no one wants to like raise their hand and share and all these things. But you said like you were able to reach a lot more people, and you're able to be of service to a lot more people because of Zoom. Like, I think that's amazing. I think that's one of the benefits of Zoom. I think she's frozen again. Are you frozen?
There we go. I'm back.
No, she's not.
Yep. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear my question?
What was it? A question?
It was like, so like talk about the more of the benefits, like how you shift your perspective and like how you were able to broaden your horizon and help more people due to Zoom.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I spoke at a meeting, and like a couple meetings actually in California. So I've done like a couple different states, and like I have friends like all over. We actually restarted our women's group, And a lot of the people that got sober in that group, one became a lawyer, moved to Washington, one works in TV shows in LA. So they're all over the map, and we all came back together for this group. And it was like super cool because it was
That is cool.
like, yeah, it was like 10 years ago. It was like a Twilight Zone, and it was awesome. But yeah, like, so I've got to go to all different states and meet people. And you can even like Zoom in other countries and like in a meeting. It's crazy, you know? And then I've had a couple sponsees that I picked up from different states that we've Zoomed and done step work and stuff like that, and like FaceTimes. And it's pretty cool because I met a couple girls that just got sober on Zoom. And I'm like, this is
Wow.
crazy. You know what I mean? But if you, like you said, like if you switch your perspective instead of being like, oh, this sucks, I need my meetings and all, it's like, for me, like I was taught that like, this is about like living a spiritual life and like living by spiritual principles. And like, we show up in a meeting to help somebody. Right. So like, I don't need to physically be there to be able to do that. Like if I can share a message of hope and somebody hears it, does it matter if they're in front of me or not?
Right.
You know what I mean? Obviously I want to hug my friends. I'm a hugger. I love that. You know what I mean? But it's not 100% necessary. Like we can do this and we can get through it together, but we have to stay positive. The minute we start being negative, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go to the home group. That's not my thing. Like some of my home group members haven't come on Zoom one time.
The whole time, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And we have a hybrid now. So we got half of them in Southie at the Divine Recovery Center. And then I run the Zoom portion. And then we listen to the speaker that's there. And then we cut it off and we have separate discussions.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty cool.
That's a pretty cool way to get it done.
Yeah. It's nice because we have our own little Zoom group now that I feel so connected to.
That's a technology, right? How lucky are we to even have this technology?
Legit, dude. So lucky. It's great. I love it.
That's another perspective shift. We're lucky enough to even be able to have Zoom. What if we had nothing?
Right. Just a phone.
Just sitting there with a lot of self, you know what I mean? And no video, just everything on the phone, that would get mundane.
Yeah.
I know. And there's a lot of workshops on Zoom that I'll get. Like my sponsor does a ton of that stuff. She's in Texas, and I'll get like flyers, and sometimes there's like weekends of just workshops of all these awesome speakers, like all these different topics, and you could just like Zoom in whatever time you want all day long. It's like so awesome. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. But like I said, like staying positive and really like, I get, I don't want to go on every time. And sometimes I look at the clock, I'm like, oh my God, it's 7, you know what I mean? I got to run to the computer and log on but once I'm in there, it's like my whole perspective changes of the day. And I'm like, you know what? I'm with my people and I'm home. You know what I mean? And it's a really cool experience.
And that's our disease saying, don't log on, go sit on the couch. It's doing push-ups. Like Mike is supposedly going to be doing push-ups this year. Our disease is doing push-ups in the background, giving us those excuses to not do meetings and not do Zoom. I don't know what he's doing over there. He's doing some dance move.
Dancing.
So again, if you guys are Venmoing the $7, so remember we're asking for just $7 for Sundays at 7. The Venmo is at Recovery Solutions, Julie Bunch. And if it asks you for the little code or whatever it is, it's 0143. So we have $37 for tonight.
Woo! Keep it coming, people.
Keep it coming. Lucky number 7. Sundays at 7.
Amy's doing a job because we had a couple goose eggs weeks prior. So Amy's bringing in some money tonight.
What's a goose egg?
Like 0 goose egg.
No, nobody donated. What's a goose egg?
I know. I'm talking about who donated a goose egg.
Why have you never heard that, Amy?
I have. I knew what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to post on Facebook like while we were talking to say $7, but
yeah, I don't know if I'd do that with the internet connection. Try to post anything right now.
Is she frozen? I think she's posting something.
No, I'm here. Are you there?
Stop blinking or moving.
Are you there?
We can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, this is so much fun.
This is so much fun. We're just winging it.
I know. We told you it was going to be impromptu. Just me and Mike. We're like, it's fun and it
blast.
And it makes you feel better. I always feel better after doing the show. Just like you feel better after doing the Zoom meetings. Like it's just this spiritual connection between
100%
between the three of us and everyone out there watching, because that's such a huge part of it, that people are participating and getting something out of it. And even though it's through Facebook, even though it's through a phone, they're still, connected and plugged.
Right.
That was some fire, Jess. That like week off got you.
I know. I'm
Got
pumped
her going. She's
Yeah.
really.
up. I'm pumped up. I missed it last week.
I know.
I
Well, that's
love
the thing. You get excited for it. It's like a meeting. You know what I mean? We're being of service. So like once you're done, you feel that high. You know, you feel that those endorphins running through your brain. Like, oh shit, we were able to, talk to people, help somebody else. That's huge. Do we have any comments?
No, so I'm only seeing people that are logging on. I'm not seeing any comments, but hold on.
I seen Richie commented on one.
I don't know why it's happening.
Whoa!
Oh, he's
So
commenting on our on the actual post and not the video. So he did, the wolf
Yep.
and the
Whoa!
Amy.
Amy, why don't you tell whoever's watching the wolf story about when we went to Brookdale?
Oh my
And
god.
then I now found the comments. So it's weird. Like when I'm on the video, it only shows who logs on, and I have to click out and now click onto a new video to see the comments. So tell the wolf story, and then I'll
Tell the wolf story.
Okay, wait. When we were at Brookdale.
Yeah.
So Brookdale, if you guys don't know Brookdale, it's in Pennsylvania in the Poconos. Beautiful treatment center. I used to work there. Love everybody there. So Mikey came down with a couple people to visit, and we were in the cafeteria, and all over Brookdale is like wolves, and like it's like it's like that theme, right? Because you're in the Poconos, and there was like this, like a metal thing, and it's like an outline of wolves on the wall in one of the cabins because they stay in cabins, and we were like, oh, Wolf would love that, blah, blah, blah. So then we're sitting in the dining room, and I told my boss, Ed Allen, shout out, hope he's watching.
Shout out.
And I was like, hey, Ed, we know this guy we call Wolf, blah, blah. He'd really love that. And literally 2 seconds later, somebody walks up and like taps Mike on the shoulder and hands him like this big metal thing of the wolves and was like, bring this back to your friend.
Yeah, the maintenance guy went right into one of the dorms. Took it off the
It was
Really?
wild.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're like, what? And he was like, is there radios here? What's happening? This is crazy. It was,
I know. I'm like, how did that just happen so quickly?
it was like literally like 5 seconds after we mentioned it, one of the guys that works there came up behind us and was like, here, bring this home to your wolf friend. And we were like, what? It was
So
great.
Richie's got a piece of Brookdale in his office still to this day that we brought home for him.
Yeah, he does.
Oh.
Pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
So Sarah Pell said, hi, Sarah. A friend of mine that I told to log on. Kathleen Campbell said, I don't see the link to donate. So the Venmo is at Recovery Solutions. Code is 0143. Julie Bunch, we're asking for $7. If you can donate more, excellent. If you
On
can't,
Venmo.
Is there a way to post the Venmo? Like,
it's actually clipped to the top of the page.
oh,
So on Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions, it's pinned to the top. It has the little scanner thing that people can look up.
fancy.
So Sienna Crawford said there's a meeting 24/7 everywhere. Right, there is, which is so cool that you can join a meeting in like Ireland, or I think I joined one in Bermuda or the Bahamas or something, which was pretty cool.
That's
Chris Perry Long put a link to intherooms.com/home for some more resources. Sarah asks, is there a tent in Southie? Do you know of?
For Divine
Not
Recovery
sure.
Center for the meetings?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so there is a
So
tent.
Divine Recovery Center has a tent and there is heaters in it. I don't know how warm it is, honestly, because I haven't gone. But that's where they have, I think they have a meeting every night now.
Yeah, our
And they
tent
definitely-
has been getting pretty warm.
Yeah, they definitely have 2 on Fridays because our group goes after another group on Friday. So there's one at like 6 and one at 7:15.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nikki Caraffa said LRG is the best living room group.
Woo woo!
I've never gone to that, but I've heard great things.
Well,
I've heard great. I heard it's a great group.
yes. Get
I've heard
it
it's a
together.
great meeting.
You
Get
can
the-
zoom in if you'd like.
I will next time.
Yes, Friday night, 7:00.
Friday night. Well, Friday night is normally my puzzle night, but I just finished my puzzle, so maybe I'll zoom in.
Puzzle night. Let's go. Talk
You can
about all.
listen while you puzzle.
2,000 piece Vegas puzzle. Me and Murph just finished.
Wow.
Dude, I would lose my
You can
mind.
listen to it in the background while you puzzling, if you like.
That's true too.
You know what I mean?
Rory Sly said, I'm involved with several recovery groups as a parent, and I feel people use excuses not to get on Zoom. For me, it's a must and right there at home.
That's it.
Kim G, our social media superstar extraordinaire, our organizer of my life,
All of our lives.
all of our lives, said, you guys keep it up. beat. Oh, thank you. We are
Thank-
a beat tonight.
Wow, compliment. Nice. That was cool.
Yeah, Kim normally does a
Compliment.
compliment.
It's the new year. Everyone's fired up for 2021. Let's
And
go.
you guys missed this, right? I hope so.
Definitely.
Julie said that's a good resource that Chris put up. It was a really good resource for in the rooms. Alonzo Duke said, I'm watching Jessica on fire. Thanks, Amy, for sharing. I feel on fire. It must be all the coffee I've had today. And I think that's it for the comments, but I'm going to keep kind of clicking out of that video and clicking back in so that I don't miss anyone's comments. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a meeting every night in Southie. Lisa Scarpa Ocha, good to hear you, Amy Busch.
Lisa.
Let's see.
Love her.
Michael McGain said, hey, my name's Mike and I'm a member of the LRG group, and me and a couple of AAs started a group called the Complete 180 Group. Is at 9 on the weekdays and 10 on the weekends. Just a heads up for anyone who needs a meeting around that time.
That's good stuff.
that's
Good
on
stuff.
Zoom.
Keep them coming. Keep those links coming.
That's awesome. And again, like, I don't know why all the things aren't popping up on one place. Just has to make it more complicated. Alonzo said there's a meeting every night in Southie. I think I read that. Kathleen, thank you for donating. We really appreciate that. The $7 really does go a long way. And let's see.
And thank you, Kathleen. She made a prior donation to that a couple weeks ago. So thank you very much. Very generous of you, Kathleen. We appreciate you.
And Michael McGain said, and yes, LRG is a dope group.
Number one group.
And Chris Perry Long said, good friend of mine is a co-founder, so many awesome meetings, and they're always looking for moderators. So that must be in regards to the link she donated. And I think that's it for the comments for now.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Jess. So yeah, it's 7:30. So we'll bring up Dollars for Angels again. So Dollars for Angels is just this new way of raising funds for us that we're trying to come up with fundraising for people who are out there struggling, who may come to us, you know, when they're honest, when they're ready, when they're willing. We want to have money in our account. Our new motto is we never want to have to say no. We always want to
say no.
Never say no. We want to be able to always be able to provide reputable, safe, sober living and finance that for people. So please donate. Our lucky number is 7 because Sunday's at 7 at Recovery Solutions, Julie Bunch on Venmo.
0143 is the code.
0143.
Oh, and Maureen Kavanaugh said, love Amy. Hi, Maureen.
Maureen.
And
Love her.
Chris Perry Long said, Busch on fire. She is. She is. Her fireness is just
Always.
getting us going. And Michael McGain said, love you guys are awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And you can keep the comments going.
Keep them coming. Ask Amy questions. Put her on the hot seat. Ask the
Yeah. And donate
So-
$7, you know.
Donate $7.
Let's get wild.
donate $7 if you want to ask a question.
It's Sunday.
No, just kidding. Amy, so tell us about DMMF, how it came about, what you guys do, all that good stuff.
So we started in 2015. So man, short version is there's a couple of us kind of got together because we were really just sick of watching our friends die. You know what I mean? Everybody was overdosing. A cousin of mine overdosed in 2013. Dennis overdosed that same year, almost a month to the day. And, you know, we just kind of got like, it was really just to a point where we're like, we got to do something. And we saw a lot of success with different treatment centers, 12-step based specifically, and they cost some money, you know, and a lot of people couldn't afford to go to places like those. You know, so we kind of got together and we're like, well, let's try to do something about this and take some action on it, you know? And so a friend of mine, my friend Stevie was, I don't know if anybody who knew Stevie, but he was awesome. He was one of the main people with DMMF in the beginning. He was the first person that we helped go to treatment. He was in a holding cell. I mean, not holding up in, I forget which one he was in, but he called his girlfriend at the time and I was sponsoring her. And I said, hey, ask Stevie if he minds if I do a GoFund for him. And so I basically wrote up this GoFund and it was like, we do all these GoFundMes for people to bury them. Why don't we try to do one so that they don't have to die? And
Right.
It went viral and like we raised $2,000 in like 2 days and it was crazy. So I call up to the police in New Hampshire. I'm like, hey, I got this guy, I'm doing a GoFund. I get half the money. And the guy's like, you're out of your mind. My mother saw that GoFund and texted me that I better take him. Right. And it was like hilarious, right? Like the director of this place was like, my mom yelled at me and said, like, I saw that like thing, you helped this kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was wild. So like we ended up getting him up there and Kim Messing, who was Dennis's wife, came to me and she's like, what's going on with Stevie? Let me help. I want to help. And she had money that she had raised at a golf tournament after Dennis had passed in his name. And she's like, you know what, let me pay for the rest of the treatment and let's start something. So her and I sat down and we kind of started to go through what we're going to do. And she, at the time, she was kind of like, I don't have a ton of time, but like, if you want to do this, and she knew that like I had this push, and I always say it was a push from God to like do a nonprofit, start something and start just helping his kids. And so that's kind of what we did. And it just kind of flourished from there. And you know, and it's crazy, man. We've helped a lot of people. And in the beginning, it was just like wiffle ball. Stevie got out of treatment, said, I want to do a wiffle ball tournament. So we did. And then, you know, the coolest thing happened is like a lot of these things like don't make a ton of money, but they bring the recovery community together, right? Like that's where I met Mikey. Like tons of people came out and treatment centers would sponsor the events, and all these people would come from sober living and they would play on teams together and they would learn how to have fun sober. Like, and that was the beauty, right? Like that was the gift, you know? And I remember being at like our first comedy show, me and Stevie and my friend Emily standing in the back of that, looking at each other going like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like that feeling of like, wow, like this is bigger than us. This is way bigger than us. You know what I mean? And so like about, what was it? Like a year in, we launched DMMF Kids, and DMMF Kids is for the kids left behind. So if a child's lost a parent to overdose, has one in active addiction, those people that are taking care of those kids can reach out to us for help. We do hockey equipment, we do dance lessons, we do summer camp. I mean, anything they need to be a kid, just to be a kid. You know, we're there to help. We did 22 families this past Christmas. We did Christmas presents for 22 families and a bunch of kids. I got to count up all the kids. I haven't done it yet, but yeah, so we've done a lot. And like, it's really cool that we've been able to show up, especially during a pandemic, and do those things. And, you know, right, you know, probably about a little over a year in, unfortunately, Stevie relapsed. And, you know, it's crazy because like he relapsed and he was struggling for a little bit. And then he finally went to detox and he passed away in detox. And a lot of people know the story. It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy because we thought he was safe, you know, and unfortunately he didn't make it. And after that, I remember I kind of like Emily Solomon, she's like my other half in this thing, you know what I mean? And she stepped up and we just kind of like took this thing over together. And like in the moment, it was one of those feelings of like, oh my God, do we even want to keep doing this? Do you know what I mean? We are one of our own, like we lost one of our own. And the truth is that I literally could hear Stevie being like, suck it up and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like you're not, you're going to keep doing this, you know? And thank God, man, Emily showed up and like, it was, God had put her in my life at that first event. She was in a house that showed up at that first wiffle ball tournament. You know what I mean? And she started coming to my house for meetings just to like learn about DMMF. And now she friggin' runs it with me. And it's just crazy. And like a couple of weeks ago, we just restructured our board of directors. And so we got some really amazing people on board with us now. We got Nikki Gaga's out in LA. She's doing social media and a bunch of stuff. We got Dan O'Connor. I don't know if you know Dan, but he's amazing. He's the man. We got Hubbard White. I don't know if you guys know him from
Hubbard.
Yeah. He's awesome. So we got Abby Ashmore. I don't know if you know her, but she's from around the way. And we get some really cool people that have, you know, decided they want to come on board and kind of help us do this thing and move it forward. You know what I mean? And like I said, so during the pandemic, we've helped since March, 40 people go to treatment or sober living.
Wow.
Yeah. And, you know, like you guys were saying, you never want to say no. The coolest thing is that like God just provides.
Right.
You know, like right before the pandemic, an unfortunate circumstance happened and somebody had passed of an overdose. And for I forget, they were connected to us, I think through his brother. And they did a GoFund and they raised a bunch of money and donated a big amount of money to us. And then another kid that we knew passed away and they donated money in lieu of flowers or whatever to us. And we've had all these like unfortunate circumstances, but it actually kind of kept us afloat during the pandemic. And we've been able to help so many people. And I really got nervous. Like at one point I was like, we're going to have to shut this down for a little while. And God was like, no, you don't. You know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
He just shows up and he's like, no, actually you'll be fine. And it's pretty cool to watch like the people that, even with Christmas, I had every single family that I had apply got adopted by somebody who donated gifts.
Wow.
I mean, you can't get better than that.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like
100% success rating.
I believe.
And you guys do like such a cool piece of, well, not, I shouldn't say a cool piece, but just the thought of, you don't just help people get into treatment and scholarship people to sober living, but what about the children of addicts?
Right.
You know, that's such an important piece that not a lot of people focus on, right? We
It's
focus,
totally the missing link, I feel like.
yeah, because they're the ones that suffer. I think of how my kids did when I was in active addiction,
Yep.
and God forbid something happened to me, and you guys are really helping those children out, because that's, our future, and we got to figure out how to break the cycle, break the chain.
Right.
And
And the
if
goal,
looking out for that, what's going to happen.
right. And the goal for the kids, like, has always been to do something a little more and maybe have my ideal thing would be to raise enough money to have like a camp or somewhere that they could go in the summer, free for the families, and be connected to one another and have that connection with each other. Cause I just feel like they have experienced something that really, this epidemic has taken so many people, right? Like a lot of people that we know and love, you know what I mean? Imagine being a kid of those people that have been lost, you right? So they have this like, and I have a lot of kids I grew up with that died of overdose, and sometimes we'll get together at events and we'll see this group of kids over here, and it's like, man, you know what I mean? Like
it's like what it used to be all these kids have divorced parents, right?
Yeah.
Like kids, it was
Yeah,
growing
yeah.
up. It was,
Yep.
yeah. You guys have probably seen that meme too. That these kids all have divorced parents. Now these kids all have a parent who have died from an overdose.
Right.
Yeah, like a
Sickening.
whole generation of kids that grow up with no parents at all.
Right. And I would love to have, support groups for them, places where they can go and talk about that and how that is, because what a friend of mine who's an adult who lost her parents like young always says, I needed somebody to tell me that wasn't my fault, right?
Yeah.
Like I needed somebody to tell me, you know what I mean, that it was going to be okay and that it had nothing to do with me. And I think that like having a place for those kids to kind of come together as a group and like connect as a group, kind of like we connect as in recovery. And even like also they're obviously more apt to pick up at this point because of like
right
the situation, and like just giving them kind of some tools, you know what I mean? And that's really like eventually what I want to see DMMF Kids turn into is a place where they can go and connect and have groups and therapy and that kind of stuff, because it's really, it's kind of crazy how nobody, I don't know. I mean, it kind of was initially when we started, because my cousin that passed away in 2013, his son was 6 years old, and I can remember driving in a car with him probably a couple weeks after the funeral, and him saying to me, if my dad kept going to those meetings with you, do you think he'd be alive? And like my heart broke.
Yeah.
It just broke. And I was like, we got to do something for these kids. You know what I mean? Like, and he's fine because his mom, like they don't need any like help financially or anything. But I remember thinking like, oh my God, what if he didn't have that? Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like what, what's going to happen to some of these kids in this generation? So that it's huge. The kid thing, man, it's really, that's like, my heart's really, really in that for sure.
And even, parents that are still using, like my biological father's an alcoholic. I've never met him 32 years. And to have that shame of it, you don't know your dad because he's an alcoholic, or these kids that, parents aren't around because they're actively using, to have that bond and that connection could really help them go the other route, instead of going, my dad's not in my life because of alcohol. Why don't I try alcohol? See what's so great about it. Or these kids going, my parent chose drugs over me. What's so great about it? Maybe I should try it and find out what was better than being a parent.
Right.
Why did they love this so much? Why did they love this more than me? You know what I mean? That's the thought process that probably goes through their mind. I love the fact that you guys sponsor like sports though, because I feel like camaraderie and like that connection, that camaraderie that like we yearn for as people who are in recovery or are afflicted by addiction. Like that's a way to break that cycle, like Jessica said, have them enrolled in sports and pay and fund their sports. That's like huge. I love that.
Yeah, that's a big one. We get a lot of requests for that, or like equipment for sports or tuition for different things. And totally. And it also helps them to like just be a part of something greater than them, and then be a kid at the same time, because sometimes, it's hard. I mean, a lot of these people that are raising these kids, they weren't expecting that, you know what I mean? So whether, it's a lot of people, it might be a financial burden, maybe not, maybe they have money and it's not, but like a lot of people it is. And it's hard because I feel like people are they don't want to ask for help. And it's like, I'm always like, listen, everybody needs a little bit of help. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're here for. And it's crazy to see like the gratitude. I mean, I saw so much generosity this Christmas around the kids. And then I saw so much gratitude from the people receiving it, and it was just unbelievable. And it really made like, it really made my Christmas to be able to kind of show up and see that firsthand. You know, it was like really a cool experience. Cause,
And that's so cool, especially for people who we're so selfish when we're using to get it,
right.
you know, a thrill
Yeah.
like that.
And like my kids being a part of that is a big thing too. So I have, you know, a 5 and a 7-year-old, and they, you know, were able to wrap gifts for some of these kids and like pack them up and come. They actually came with me on a couple of the deliveries because I had them with me, and I'm like, you know, and it's just like, and it's just a cool thing that like they're growing up in this environment where they're seeing that the whole point of like Christmas is to give back, or the whole point of life or whatever, right? Is that, and I always tell them, like, if you can help somebody, just do it. Like,
Do
it's
it.
not, do you know what I mean? Like, that's just, it's just what we do. And like, it's cool to see that, because I think that I feel like, cause I'm sober, right? Because I come
Absolutely.
from that, that's why I'm so like, hey, this is what we got to do. And it's cool because they're just like, whatever, this is just what they do. And they get to grow up in it. So it's kind of a cool experience to watch.
So a couple comments. Michael McGain said that we should have a podcast. Maybe one day.
Maybe
One day.
Julie.
Podcasters.
We-
Lucia Scarpa said, how do I donate? So, and then I think the Venmo information was on there. So again, Sundays at 7, Sunday Night Live. We're asking for $7. Venmo is at Recovery Solutions, Julie Bunch. PIN code is 0143. If you can donate more, you can only donate 7. Magic number is 7. Yeah, so can someone post in the comments info for donate? We did. And remember, you don't have to do heroin to be a dope. That is for sure. I used to be a hopeless dope fiend. Now I'm a dopeless hope fiend. Woo! Keep up the good work. Your one-liner was stolen from you tonight, Mike.
That was stolen. It's all right. I don't need the shine.
No.
Hey, oh, sorry. Did I interrupt you?
You're used to me interrupting you, so go ahead.
No,
I have more comments.
It was just an ADD moment. I was going to start asking her questions.
I still have more. Hold on.
All right.
Hold the interruption. Tara Shannon said, I donated on Venmo. It's the least I can do. Amy, thank you so much for speaking on the disconnect behaviors we need to have the jump on. Absolutely. Linda Hanley Powell, one of our members of our team. So should we go through the team?
Go through the team. Do it.
I thought I was asking you to do it. So we got the founder and director. We have Debbie Moore, the co-founder. We have Kim G, the social media superstar extraordinaire. Linda is the assistant secretary. She's really great with helping me do all the things that I don't do.
She's also a registered nurse.
Yep. She's also a registered nurse. Mandy McGowan out there busting her hump in the shelter, really giving back. You know, she's doing unbelievable. We have the Wolf.
Whoa.
Wolf.
That guy.
And did I miss? Oh, Kara. Kara is another person on our team.
Yep.
And then you have me and Mike. So there you go.
That's low level volunteers.
The best. Professional volunteerism.
Chris Harry Long said suicide rate up 30%, overdose rates up 65%.
Yeah.
It's scary. You know, I see it on the news that, you know, alcohol sales are up. People are drinking alcoholically all the time. You see the TikTok that the moms, I'm going to have a drink at 11 o'clock. And people are drinking alcoholically to get through this.
They were getting on TikTok?
Oh, yeah, they were.
Oh, yeah. Getting after it.
Yeah.
TikToking.
Let's see. Kathleen Campbell said, I love this. I'm in recovery and work as a recovery coach. I'm going to use this. Thanks. If we don't have Venmo, is there an alternative way to donate?
A check to Julie Bunch, myself, or Debbie Moore, or to Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions. And if you do, I can always come pick it up, or Julie, if you're in that area, if you're in the Waltham area, Greater Waltham area, if you're in the North Shore, I can come pick it up, whatever.
We'll find a way. Where there's a
will. We'll find a way.
The will, there's a way.
Amy, so I love that you instill the principle of selflessness in your children. Let's talk about their behavior, how they embrace that.
With what do you mean? Just like learning it.
Like, do they like love giving back now? Like, with that selflessness, like, I know you bring them to that place down the South Shore that you volunteered
Yeah.
with.
So my
Like, yeah,
brother's keeper. Yeah. So my brother's
like,
keeper in Easton. I don't know if people know about what that is, but it's like the coolest place on earth. And they do food and furniture for people in need during the year. And then they also do a Christmas program. So this Christmas was a little different. So not a lot of people were allowed in. But typically during a Christmas program, you'll be able to go in, and my kids have been going since they were born. And it's like a Santa's workshop. Mike, did you come with me?
no, I didn't get to come last
Yeah,
year.
Maddie came last time. So it's like Santa's workshop, literally. And like they have people that call and they need Christmas help. And then you literally like shop for the family, wrap the gifts, pack them up, people deliver them to the houses. I mean, it's amazing. But like I said, they do food, furniture, beds, all that stuff during the year. They're just, Jim and Terry are the most amazing people ever. I actually called Jim Orcott, the founder of The Keeper, the co-founder, when I was going to start DMMF. And it was a year before I started. And when I called him, he said, Amy. And I was like, Jim, I got this push from God. I got to start a nonprofit. And I was like, cause I'm, just a lot anyways. And he goes, Amy, calm down, take a breath. And I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, just wait. God will provide. Like when you're supposed to do this, if you're supposed to do this, God's going to put it in front of you and you're going to know. So just relax. And I was like pregnant with my first daughter and I was like, whatever, fine. And I waited and literally like it happened exactly how it was supposed to. And God literally put it in front of me. So it was kind of crazy, but they're amazing. So anyways, back to the question. So my kids have been going there since they were born. And so it's pretty cool. Cause like this year they were bummed they couldn't go, but we adopted a family from them and we wrapped it here. And like, we did the whole thing and then we dropped it off. And then with DMMF Kids, just because of the pandemic and stuff, a lot of people were just dropping gifts at my house.
Yeah.
And I would deliver them and do like no contact delivery. And like, we had sponsors drop them that could. So they got to do a lot of the wrapping of those families. And so I feel like for them, it's really cool because I see them do that like in their own lives too. Like Helena will like for Christmas, like one of her little friends, she's like, oh mom, can you make her this water bottle? Can you do that? And she's like packing up random things in a little bag to give to her friends for Christmas, like from around the house. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. They like,
yeah.
They're displaying that selflessness already. They're displaying that altruism already. Like,
yeah. And I think learning that it feels good to give is like huge, right? Cause I feel like we're kind of like gifts are cool. You know what I mean? And believe me, they love gifts and they're really like spoiled, probably a little too much, but do you know what I mean? But it's cool to see them be like, oh, it feels good for me to give somebody else something. You know what I mean? And that's like kind of, I feel like the shift where I feel like I never thought about it until the last like year or two, just because she's getting a little older. So she's starting to understand it a little more. And I start to see her do it in her own life. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool to watch. You know what I mean? So hopefully her and her sisters still fight like hell, but what are you gonna do?
That's all sober. You know what I'm saying? That's all those things wouldn't be happening if you weren't sober and if you weren't doing and giving back the way you're doing.
Right. No, 100%. It's 100% my like being sober and being a part of something bigger than me, like being a part of the 12-step fellowship and all that. That's what really I think drives like everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You had said, I think I forgot if it was on here or before about, we're addicts and alcoholics. So we watch our kids and we see, what are they doing? Are they doing something like this that's going to turn into a drink or a drug? And sometimes it can be obsessive. Like they're just sitting there being like, my kid's obsessed with Captain America and he runs around like shooting everything. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to be an addict. Like it's
he's a Captain America addict.
He's obsessed with Captain America. What am I going to do? Start playing with the Hulk. And for us, it's crazy. That's the difference between, I guess, boys and girls, right?
I get it though. I get what you're saying.
And to be aware that, okay, maybe that could have happened, but just to be able to be clean and sober and show them the other ways to live and to not be so zoned in on their, Avenger addiction or whatever the hell it is. I don't know where I was going with that. I completely lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I think you did great.
So Rory Sly said, I wrote a check and got information from Julie where to send. You can send a check to Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions, 23 Rayem, Reyem Street, Waltham, Mass. 02453. And Rory also said, my brother's keeper is amazing. I adopt a family yearly and also wrap. That's great. What a great resource too. And I think that's it for the comments.
That's it.
She frozen. We have a few minutes left. So again, I think we are at $66, which is, we used to have, as Mike said, goose eggs, which apparently
Goose
is zero. So $66 is awesome. And if anyone wants to, keep it coming, it's at Recovery Solutions. I don't know what that is. Why are we doing goggles?
Because
I
we're
don't
doing
know.
goose eggs.
I'm just following our guest lead.
Are we Avengers? We do look like Captain America like that.
I feel like it should be on here every week, but
It's awesome.
You could be our third host every week.
so fun.
It's easy, and you kind of forget you're on live, and and people are commenting, and it's just awesome.
I hope it's all good comments.
It is nothing fresh.
It's all hate.
$7, no hate speech.
$7 at Recovery Solutions, pin code 0143. Helping people get how many people have we helped get into treatment and scholarship people?
This year, prior to us like joining the team, I don't know what the numbers were, but this year, within the last few months, at least 3. So
wow, that's incredible.
At least 3. Yeah, we paid for their sober living, got them into safe sober living, but we also plug people into treatment every day, or weekly, or monthly.
Always.
Yep, we're always, giving families advice. Families call us all the time. We're pointing families in the right direction.
And I'm harassing Mike every other day to, someone reaching out about different programs. And it's not just detox, it's PHP, it's sober living, it's medication assisted treatment, it's IOP, it's like Mike just said, family support services, it's recovery coaching, it's where there are meetings in this area. If you need help or know someone who does, please reach out to us. Yes, we're asking for money for donations to scholarship people into sober living, but our services are free.
Mm-hmm.
If you reach out to us for recovery coaching, treatment, whatever, that's all free. We're asking for the money to continue being able to provide scholarships to reputable sober living, so that we never have to say
no.
Oh, Amy's on board. She's got it.
Lord, listen, I love it.
Sign her up.
I love
so even if it's a conversation, even if it's just a 20-minute conversation, half-hour conversation that you need, please reach out to us. Our numbers are on the page. Our numbers are on the flyer.
We're also asking for donations to bring to different homeless populations or people living on the street. New socks. We don't want your old socks, mismatched socks. New underwear. New, that stuff needs to be new.
hats, gloves.
Hats, gloves.
Yep. So reach out to us if you have donations. We can come pick it up. Right, Mike?
I'll come pick it up. Let me know.
So if you have any questions about that, please contact us.
And clothes donations, right? Like any old clothes, right?
Any clothes. Yep. Any clothes. And Amy, tell them let people know how they can contact DMMF.
So if you go on DMMFboston.org, you can contact us. You can sign up to volunteer. Oh, that's the thing I didn't mention. That's really important that I think separates us from a lot of organizations, is that we're 100% volunteer. So every single person involved no one gets paid. So we're all volunteers. So we're all, Emily likes to call us professional volunteers. We were at the Patriots last year because I got, Emily nominated me and they picked me for Difference Maker of the Week.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Yes. It was on my list.
Did you see my selfie with Bob Kraft? That was last year, but still.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, and that was, and it was like volunteerism. So we got to go on the field, and it was really cool. And they gave me a football that has my name, and it's pretty cool, whatever. But it was cool because that's the thing I think that separates us from a lot of people, is that this is 100% volunteer, and so we, it's just us doing it really with no other motive but to help people, you know what I mean? And I think that's pretty cool because when we have events, which because of COVID we haven't been able to, but Mike was talking about the basketball, wiffle ball, comedy show, all that stuff it's run by all volunteers. So we'll have Rockland Recovery, How House, all those sober houses show up and they send 15 volunteers to help set up, break down, work the event basically, you know what I mean? And it's a pretty cool thing because not only are the houses they're just getting involved in doing a sober event, but they're helping too. So it's pretty cool that they give back.
That's amazing.
Love it.
Oh, Kim G said she has an Avengers addiction. Well, you and Connor will get along. You know, he's obsessed.
Mine has an iPad addiction. It's really
Dude,
bad.
he's downstairs. I don't know what he's doing. He's going, I don't know what he's doing.
He's being an Avenger, Jess.
What?
He's being an Avenger.
He's going to be the next captain. He's not even on an electronic. He just plays his game and runs around in circles and shoots things.
That's awesome.
Slightly used in new coats. We also do need that. And Steve Sorrenti said long-term depression is going to lead to relapse. Yep, because you know what's behind addiction is depression, anxiety, and any other mental illnesses. Sorry,
was Captain America about?
I don't know. He must be. Thanos must be downstairs or something. I don't know what is happening.
But that's great. He's tapping into his creative side. Let the boy live.
Let him live. But so if you need to apply, that's the other thing. So for scholarships for DMMF, if you want to apply, dmmfboston.org, you can apply for scholarships. You can also apply there for the DMMF Kids if you hit the DMMF Kids tab. We're redoing the website right now, so I'm not sure how it's going to be set up because we have our awesome friend Nikki doing it, and it's going to be great. So DMMF Kids, or just apply for scholarship. And then the other thing is, if you're going to apply for scholarship, we usually scholarship people coming out of like a detox or a holding, going into somewhere else, but if you're already at a house, we typically don't, that doesn't really fall into like kind of what we do. And we also ask you to do 2 to 4 weeks in a holding before we will scholarship. So we want you to be clear of mind before we pay for you to go somewhere, because we've had, we learn from experience, right? So if you take somebody off the street and put them in, there's no skin in the game and they just leave. So we do ask that. And we've had a lot of success with that. I actually saw on Instagram, one of our scholarship recipients posted that he had a shirt that said miracle and it said 1 year sober today. And I was like, oh my God, I got wicked emotional. Cause I was like, that's so cool. Cause I can remember being on the phone with this kid while he was in a hospital like a year ago. I was in Florida at the time. And I always say to the people, I say, like, you need to call me every day and check in with me, or Emily, whoever it is, so that we can make sure that you're still there. Cause we all know how it is. People leave and they come and go all the time. We don't know. So we need to make sure our list is valid every day. And this kid called every day, you know what I mean? Every single day I'd get a voicemail from this kid, and he made it, you know what I mean? And he came back, got sober, went through the steps, doing good. So it's really cool when I get to see the other side of that. And I've also had kids come up to me in meetings that I didn't know, and they like knew who I was and introduce themselves and go like, oh my God, you scholarship me and I'm still sober. And it's like, whoa,
That's
so
incredible.
Sometimes you get to have those cool like moments where you're like, holy shit, this is awesome. So I love that you guys are doing that and giving people a second chance. Cause a lot of, I'm sure with you guys get the same as us, where it's people who literally have like no other option, and giving them that shot, that safe place in that warm bed, you know what I mean? Like it can just make the difference. If they're ready, you know what I mean?
So do we have any last thoughts? And just to let you know, Amy, that when we leave, Mike kind of drops his mic and then I close it.
Okay. So last thoughts are, if you have not liked our Facebook or Instagram page, do that. So Dennis Messing Memorial Foundation or DMMF Boston. I'm not really sure. I think Instagram might be DMMF Boston, and that's it. So that you can see our upcoming events and hopefully a golf tournament in the spring, if COVID allows.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We'll be back in action.
I know how to do mini golf, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know how to golf either, but that's going to be Hubbard's wheelhouse.
So again, $7, Sunday nights at 7. I was not Vanna White tonight spinning the wheels, so we're asking for Sundays at 7, $7 at Recovery Solutions. Julie Bunch, code is 0143. Reach out to us if you need help. Amy, this was so much fun.
It was so fun. I'm so glad I came. I love you guys. You're the best.
This is awesome. Ever since the moment I met you, I've loved you.
It was so good to see you
We
guys.
just love you, Amy.
Love you.
Dream team, you guys. I love it.
Yo, you guys are two of my favorite women in recovery that I've met over the last few years. So it was an honor to be on the show with both of you. You guys,
thank you for being our guest.
I adore you both.
You're the best. Mikey Leg.
I'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week. I don't know who we have on, but we will be back.
I might just
It's a surprise.
I have the Zoom.
Tune in.
There you go. And then Michael, lead us out. Oh, hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. Oh, she's your twin.
Hey guys, don't forget, leave the world a better place than you found it.
Boom. Bye.
Boom.